Hey, what's up guys, TechTitan here, and this is sort of my first impressions of the brand new Blue Bolt N4, and think of this as sort of my first live impressions, right? No B-roll, no nothing. And basically a couple of things that I learned about this phone before we actually dig into the phone itself. So I have to actually talk about the unboxing experience itself. So the unboxing experience is actually pretty nice. So not a lot of phones nowadays, it's rare to find a unboxing experience where you get a full dedicated, really fast wall adapter that supports 60 watts. You also get USB-C headphones, which you will definitely not see in many phones nowadays. You also get your USB-C to C cable, as well as a clear silicone case. Show me another phone brand that does this like that. There are not many. Okay, so now actually let's talk about the device itself. So the obvious biggest selling point when it comes to the Blue Bolt N4, and this is their flagship, one is this sort of mini display. And this acts as sort of a notification display. To be honest with you, it kind of reminds me of not the new Xiaomi phone, but more so, do you know the flip devices like the Razrs, the Samsung flip devices, they have this secondary display? This is where I think where this inspiration comes from. So the display is an AMOLED display. It's a 1.7-inch AMOLED display that gets really bright, and also it's responsible showing you notification time, weather, date, things like that. And you can actually use it as your camera viewfinder if you want to take some really high quality pictures, which this phone does support a main sensor, ultra wide, and a telephoto sensor. More on the camera later on. But basically, as far as the design goes, beyond the display, it gives you this sort of curved edges all the way around the phone, and even the display is curved, and you can see the Blue Bolt logo. So it's the N4, which is designed in Miami, so this is definitely a US based company. And I've did a couple of reviews on these types of devices, the Blue devices. They're a hit or miss, but on the right hand side you do have this sort of a chrome finish that gives this phone a nice shine and a nice look. You also have your speaker, USB-C, microphone, SIM tray. On the left hand side you have your volume up and down, which are relatively clicky and tactile, and you can actually see the attention to detail where there's sort of a curvature here in between the chrome finish and the back of the display. And you also, on the right hand side, you have your power button as well as a camera launch button, which is weirdly placed, so it's really hard, actually it's easy to mistake these buttons. So this phone gives us a 6.78-inch Full HD plus 120Hz AMOLED display, 1200 by 2562 resolution, 429 pixels per inch. As far as the processor of choice, what Blue decided to go with was the MediaTek Dimensity 7300 based on a 4nm. It is octa-core. So this phone does support 512 GB of internal storage standard. You get 8 GB of actual RAM and 24 GB of RAM boost, which uses the storage to sort of boost the RAM when you need it. A triple camera setup, 50 megapixel main sensor, like I said, 8 megapixel wide and an 8 megapixel telephoto sensor. Your front facing camera is a 16 megapixel selfie camera. You get 5000 milliamp hour battery, 66 watts of fast charger included. You gotta give Blue thumbs up for that. Now the best thing about this phone, honestly, is the price. So you can get this unlocked for $299, which is an incredible value considering what you get. You get half a terabyte of storage, it's somewhat of a decent camera, a secondary display, a nice AMOLED display. The performance may not be the craziest thing in the world, but if you can get past that, then you're definitely getting a good value. So yeah, this is just my quick live impressions of the Blue Bolt N4. I will have a more in-depth dedicated video coming really soon, but so far I feel like this phone might be a winner. For $299, it's hard to go wrong. So with that being said, I do want to thank you all so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this sort of a quick impressions video. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Also make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.